Welcome to Doron Yoga, everyone. Are you ready for a ninja body practice with a Zen mind? Well, I hope you are, because today we'll do just that. More of an advanced practice today where I won't be explaining the poses. I will use Sanskrit. So it's not for everybody, but hopefully it'll serve as a great inspiration and a good practice for those that are ready for this. It's the Doron Yoga Ninja Power Practice. So take a deep breath, find a good samastitihi, and here we go. Slow and steady. Inhale, arms up over the head. Exhale, forward fold Uttanasana. Inhale, elongate. Exhale, jump back, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog, and move a tiny bit from side to side to awaken your back. Open up a little more, and then push back into your downward facing dog. Feel free here to move a little bit. If you want, bend both knees to get deeper into the shoulders, or bend a knee at a time to awaken your legs. Make sure you're still breathing Ujjayi breath throughout the practice. Bandhas are very active. And go ahead and take your right leg up to the sky. A moment with the hips square, and then open up. Really reach back and over with your leg, and then go ahead, straighten, and we'll do a few knee to nose. So every time you bring the knee to the nose, exhale, warming up your core. Do that 3-4 times at your pace. And after you're done, come across with your right knee, so you can possibly even take the arm balance or just take it to the elbow. Then go back to the sky and bring the right knee over to the right side. Again, Ekapada Kundinyasa option, arm balance. And we'll go back to downward dog with the right leg in the sky. Then bring the right foot forward between the hands and sink. Slow down and breathe. Optional, take the arms up to the sky, flip the hands and open further into the shoulders. Keep the hips heavy down. Steady gaze, steady breath. Slow and steady, hands to the ground. Feel a moment in runner's lunge to awaken even further, and then step it back, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. For those that want to go power, do some push-ups. You can do it with or without the knees. I am very ready to be ninja in this practice, so I am really going for it. But again, I don't do this every day. Inhale, chest up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take one breath here to again let everything calm down, and then left leg, square hips. And lift up and over, open the hips. As you can see, I've squared the shoulders so I can really get into the hips, even a few ankle rotations if you like, then need. Squaring, and here we go, knee to the nose. Do a few on your own, just bring it in, squeeze the belly in, and exhale every time the knee comes forward, and eventually come across. Maybe the arm balance, maybe not. Just breathe for a breath, and back to three-legged dog. The left knee this time comes over to the left side, possibly Ekapada Kundinyasa. Try to straighten the legs a bit. Keep the chest moving forward and back to the three-legged dog. And here we go. Bring the left foot between the hands for a low lunge. Sink low with the hips. Get heavy. And right, we're going yin and yang. We're going power, and then we stay and calm and focus. The chest is lifted, the hips are sinking, and then if you'd like, take the arms up over the head, reverse the hands, open a little further into the shoulders, and hands down to the ground. Step it back. Lower chaturanga, again optional. Some more push-ups. Whew. Hopefully it's not too hot where you are. If it is, skip the push-ups. This is ninja practice, as I promised. So just really strengthening, really burning out any of those impurities that we may have. And then open your heart, open your chest. I'm going a little crazy here. I went right into cobra, which means my hips are down, chest is up. It's deeper into the back, but I'm ready for it. If you like some head and neck rotations, go ahead, wake that up, and press it back. Downward facing dog. Stay and breathe. Notice where your mind is. See if you can keep it steady on your breath. Steady drishti, steady gaze. Heels rooting, and then shift forward, jump. Lengthen into the halfway up, and exhale. Let the head drop, Uttanasana. Inhale, arms up over the head, belly in. Exhale, Samastitihi. Right away into Utkatasana. Inhale, exhale, forward fold. Inhale, elongate. Exhale, Chaturanga. Inhale, shine through upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog. Right foot forward, left heel down. Inhale, Virabhadrasana Ka, warrior one. Arms are powerful, shoulders relax down, maybe gaze lifts up. And then we're going to go for a little twist. So spine is tall for the first breath, just to open up. And then we're going to go deeper into a variation, into the binded variation of Parivrita Parshvakonasana. So the right arm behind the back, try to reach with your left hand to the right wrist. Keep both legs strong and powerful, and keep opening the right shoulder up towards the sky. If you want another arm balance option to come out of this, take it for 2-3 breaths, Ekapada Kundinyasa, and then step jump back, Chaturanga. Good. So we're going to go through the vinyasa Chaturanga, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Again, feel your spine, give yourself a moment to open, and press back, Adho Mukha Svanasana. One breath here, and then we'll move left foot forward, right heel down. Inhale, coming up, Virabhadrasana, warrior one. Take one breath, feel the belly in, the hips sinking lower, and taking the twist. Twisting over to your left side, opening a bit in the spine, and we'll go deeper into the Parivrita Parshvakonasana, the twisted variation of extended side angle. Breathing while you're in the pose, the belly is in, if available, taking the bind. And keep pressing into the back leg, keep opening the left shoulder towards the sky, and make sure you're breathing. Gaze steady, and again, here we go. Hands down, shift your weight onto the arms, lift the legs, open up your heart, breathe for a breath or two, however long you can hold, and then fly back, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, shine, exhale, downward facing awesomeness. And taking a breath or two. Hopefully you're not like me on grass, the mat's moving all over the place, but hey, we're not afraid of challenges, are we? Step or jump forward, lengthen, and then exhale, forward fold. Bending the knees, Utkatasana, sometimes mistakenly known as chair pose. Sink a little deeper with your hips, bandhas, belly in, powerful arms, steady, Zen mind. Up and slow and steady. Close the pose, hands to the heart. Inhale, arms up over the head, a little back bend to warm up further. Exhale, forward fold, hands down. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, float back, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, shine, chest keeps lifting forward up. Exhale, down dog. Right foot, Virabhadrasana Ka, arms up, hips low, breathe. We're going to take the right arm underneath the left for eagle arms, Garudasana, taking it back into a back bend, opening chest, shoulders, elbows, and spine. Inhale, slow, steady, back to warrior one. Exhale, we're going to take the hands to the inside of the right foot. Left knee goes down. My right foot is quite a bit forward than my right knee, and I open the right knee to the side. Elbows can come down to the ground and sink. Just stay. Right, so you're breathing here, hopefully slower exhales than inhales. Fingertips relaxed. Mind steady. Okay? If you haven't had enough arm balances, another Ekapada Kundinyasa, chest forward, and if possible, lift up to a chin stand. A hint of a back bend. Just breathe here for a couple of breaths, and then Chaturanga dog and downward facing dog. Catch your breath for a moment, because the good news is we have the left side, left foot forward, up, Virabhadrasana Ka, warrior one. Left arm underneath the right this time for eagle arms. I'm trying to sink in the hips at the same time as I'm lifting the chest and taking the elbows up and back to open further in the shoulders. Maintaining breath. Hips are still low. One more breath, and then slow, steady, arms up, warrior one. Watch the hands as they come down to the inside of the left foot. Right knee down for the lizard. Left knee opens to the side, lower down. Maybe you're on the elbows. If it's super easy, even walk the elbows further forward, right? Just getting way nice and deep into the hips. Maintaining breath. Zen mind, steady, clear, calm mind. Can you hear the sound of your breath? Preparing for the arm balance. Hands come back. Left arm underneath the left thigh, shifting the weight forward. Heart open, straightening the legs. Breathe and then shifting to the chin stand. Hips lift way up. Strong legs. Breathe. If you want to go even a little deeper into the back bend this time, feel free. Go ahead. And then legs up, chest forward. Wow, chaturanga dog. Breathing. If you need to pause and take a child's pose, by all means, go ahead and do so. Otherwise, just stay in down dog for another moment to really find presence. We're going to jump into crow, into bakasana. So if you can, jump, hop right onto your arms. If that doesn't work, just take crow pose. Then try to lift the heels up. Keep your bandhas. Keep a steady mind, steady gaze. Breathe and jump back, chaturanga dandasana. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog. We're going to bring the right foot forward, left heel down, up to warrior one. Follow, steady gaze. And slow and steady, we're going to open warrior two. Right? Keep the front knee bending, hopefully towards 90 degrees. Breathe here for a moment, and then reverse your warrior. A nice side stretch. Coming forward, we're going to straighten the front leg into Trikonasana, except we're going to take a binded one. So take the left arm under the leg, bind with the right arm behind the back, and do your best to straighten the front leg as much as you can. Possibly gaze up to the sky and breathe again, finding the steadiness, even if it's just for 3 breaths. Release and shift forward, taking half moon, Ardha Chandrasana. We're going to take the version where we're bending the leg that's in the air with the left hand and taking it into a bit of a back bend. So you can see I'm pressing the back leg away. I'm opening the chest, and I'm trying to straighten as much as possible the standing leg. Go ahead, release, and float slow and steady back into warrior two. Land arms up, and then exhale, hands to the ground. Step it back, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing doggy. Left foot right away up, warrior one. Inhale, up, and slowly exhale as you open into warrior two, watching the left hand, being very, very present, right? One breath here, and then reversing the warrior. A nice side stretch. Try not to make it too much of a back bend. Belly in, breathing, and then shifting forward into Trikonasana, triangle pose with the bind, and as much as possible, straightening the front leg. Open the chest, open the right shoulder towards the sky, and if available, take the gaze up. Breathing, strong legs. And then shifting, half moon, Ardha Chandrasana. Balancing the right leg, super strong, powerful. And then bending the right knee, taking hold of the foot, opening the heart. You can see how much I'm really pressing the right leg away so I can open up more in the chest, more in the legs. Breath and steady gaze. Release the right leg. Start to bend the left knee, shift far back, landing warrior two. And then exhale, hands to the ground. Step it back, lower into chaturanga. Upward facing dog, and a little bit of crazy ninja work, a few push-ups, fast, quick, powerful. And then let's remember that we're doing yoga, so stop in plank and lower slow motion now. Chaturanga, go with breath. Yeah, so it's fine to go powerful, but see if you can also go mindful, no matter how fast or slow you're going. Breathing, right? Notice much better form when going a little slower. Just breathe, do as many as you can. You can rest in child's pose, or we'll meet in downward dog after you go upward dog and downward dog. Good. Take a moment in downward dog. Belly is in, powerful legs. Breath is alive. Mind is soft, no matter how powerful your body is. Look between the hands, step jump, take your feet apart. We're going to go for a forward fold. You can do anything you like. I'm going to wrap the arms around the legs, behind the legs, and then bring them through the legs to hold the shins to forward fold. But really, even holding the elbows, anything that can allow you to just come back into more of a yin space, into more of relaxing, finding stillness. Only the breath moves. The mind is calm, right? Bandhas are slightly working to help protect the lower back. Then bend the knees, come up to Utkatasana and Samastitihi. Bandhas working. We're going to take the right leg and open to the side for Prasarita Padottanasana, clasping the hands behind the back. Lengthen the spine and exhale, forward fold. Take the arms over the head. Allow yourself to be heavy, to sink down, letting gravity do the work for you. All you have to do is keep the legs slightly engaged and the bandha's working. Gaze is steady. Breath is steady. Stay, hold. Release the hands down. We're going to go for a twist, so we have the right hand going for the left ankle, left arm behind the back, maybe reaching the head towards your right leg. Crazy version, wrap the right arm around the leg and hold your head. Cup your head. Doesn't matter if you don't really figure this one out, just get a twist here. Release. We'll do the second side. Maybe it'll be easier to see here. Left hand on the leg, right arm wraps behind the back, head goes towards the leg. All right, so it's really a twist with a leg stretch. Then here we go. I'm taking the arm around the leg and wrapping so that I'm holding the back of my head. Breathing all the while. Bandhas all the while. Back to center. Hands onto the mat. Inhale. Lengthen the spine. Then begin to walk your feet wider. We're going for Sama Konasana. Equal, even, harmonious angle pose. Right? So I'm kind of trying to allow my hips to be heavy, and I'm shifting onto my elbows so I can shift a bit forward, because if I fall way back, then I lose a lot of the stretch. So I'm trying to shift a bit forward, so it'll be intense, right? And it's fine. The intensity in the body is okay. It's part of ninja body. It's how do we maintain a Zen mind, a clear mind, and no labeling mind while we're practicing stuff that may be intense, may be challenging. Slowly coming back onto the hands. Start to heel toe the feet closer in until you're in Prasarita distance. And just go right away and turn onto the right side. We're going to straighten the right leg for Ardha Hanumanasana, half Hanumanasana, for a quick warm-up. Stay there or start to slide right away as deep as possible into Hanumanasana, into the splits. Again, respect your body. Just do what's right for you. There's always another day to practice. Once you found your space, then try to stay somewhat steady, right? Let the hips be heavy, belly slightly in, and then either stay up, or if you'd like to forward fold, go ahead and forward fold, whatever seems to be good for you. You can notice I'm kind of shifting my head a bit to the right. That's in order to pull my left hip down, because it tends to lose its squareness. Wow, that was easy today. So slowly coming up, we're going to switch right away to the other side. Ardha Hanumanasana over the left leg, just for a breath or two, a tiny bit of warm-up. And then after you feel, hopefully you feel like you can go a little further, just go to what your body today is telling you. This is awesome, right? So when you found your awesomeness, stay there. And remember that however deep it is, however fancy it may or may not seem, it is awesome, because it is where you are today. Where else are you going to be, right? Breathing, steady gaze, and then optional forward folding. And so surrendering, letting gravity, letting your body weight do the work. The more you surrender, the quicker you'll find the opening happen. Just another breath or two here. Slowly begin to come up. We're going to actually return into Prasarita stance. So feet down, hands down. Lengthen the spine halfway. Exhale, hands to the hips. Inhale, come up. And then step it forward, Nadya Komanechi style. And release into Sama Stitihi. Shake it away if you need to. Wipe some sweat if you've got. It's a warm day where I am. And then take the hands behind the back. Namaste reversed. Step the right foot back. Inhale, lengthen. And with an exhale, slowly come over the left leg. Right? Try as much as possible to elongate in the spine, but respect your body wherever it may be is fine. Inhale, come halfway up. We're going to shift here into Warrior 3. So the right leg lifts up, belly in, steady gaze, breathing. Breathing some more. And then slowly bring the right knee forward and through. It's still in the air. Release the hands. Hold your right foot with the left hand. Take your right arm back for a twisted variation of Utthita Hasta Parangushtasana. And breathe. Staying steady. And then slowly start to transitioning. Hands on the hips. Gaze forward. Straight leg. Breathing some more. Lift in the belly so you can lift the leg. And then lower with control. Shake it away and give yourself some delightful yappy yoo-hoo because we still have the other side. Here we go. The hands behind the back. Reverse namaste. Stepping the left foot back this time. Adjusting the hips as much as possible. You could see the belly going in. Lengthening. Slowly coming down. Hips press back as the chest and chin reach forward and down. Breathing. Taking these moments here to reset before we go to balance. Slowly, with this long spine, with the strong legs, we're going to start to come halfway up, shifting the weight forward into Warrior 3. Right? The back leg lifts. If you need to, you can bend a little bit in the standing leg. I'm trying to keep it straight there, which is a little more challenging. Trying to keep the hips square. Ooh, that was a nice adjustment, Doron. Good job. Slowly starting to come up. Bring the left knee forward and through. Take hold of the outer edge of the left foot with the right hand. Left arm behind you. And slowly, slowly begin to shift your gaze back. Breathing. Breathing. Slowly coming forward. Straight left leg. Hands on the hip. And try to maintain some form of steadiness. One last breath here, and then slowly release down. Setting up for Galavasana. We're going to bend the right knee, right ankle onto left thigh, bringing the right hands down to the ground, and then the right knee high up towards the armpit. Left foot hooks around the left upper arm, left leg up to the sky. Breathing, keep your bandhas alive and steady gaze. Hold, hold, and then jump back, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing, exhale, downward facing. Jump forward, lengthen, and exhale, forward fold. Coming all the way up, arms up over the head, some back bending, a little deeper, and then close the pose. Here we go. Second side, you guys. Hopefully you're as excited as I am about this. We're going to place the left ankle on the right thigh, right above the knee, hands down to the ground. Again, this time the left knee goes high up towards the armpit, hooking the left foot onto the right arm. You can see I slid a little bit with the left foot, but it's okay. As long as the left knee is high up, you'll be able to hold this. Try to drop a bit in the right hip so it doesn't open too much, and then jump back, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a breath here. And we're going to go to Vaishishtasana with a core work variation to begin with. So come onto your right side and then bring the left hand to the hips and just go up and down with your hips, up and down. I love this. It's gentle, but it feels great. I can feel the work happening in muscles I don't normally do. Go ahead and switch sides. Again, up, down, belly in to support you. Just work that core area for a little bit. And then we're going to go again onto the right side, this time for Vaishishtasana. If you can, try to take your big toes of the left foot with the left hand and then lift a bit the hips, not too high, just so it's one long straight line. And open up the chest. And that's it. Release. Short. Go ahead, take the other side. So you're on the left arm, right leg up. Take hold of the big toes. A little more challenging for me this side. You can see I'm having a bit of a hard time bringing the hips forward, but do your best. Keep the belly in, breathe, and then release. Good. What can you ask more than a chaturanga at the end of this? Upward dog and downward facing dog. Take a few breaths here to help you recover. Just stay, breathe, and again, train the mind to stay present. Go ahead and lower to your knees, stretch the arms forward, downward puppy. A breath or two here, stretching the shoulders, the back. And then we're going to come onto the forearms. So we're going to go into forearm plank. Set yourself up, elbows under the shoulders, arms parallel to each other, belly lifted, heels back, breathe. Keep the gaze slightly forward so your neck is long. And just breathe another moment and then go into dolphin pose. So it's a downward dog with the forearms down. Staying here for 2 breaths. And we're going to head over to Pincha Mayurasana, the forearm balance. And simply maintain, hold steady. Keep pressing the elbows into the ground. Keep the belly going in. Legs strong up. Steady gaze at one point. Breathing. This will help strengthen the back and focus the mind. Breathing. Stay a little longer here. And then we're going to either exit straight into chaturanga if possible. And if not, just one way or another, take your vinyasa, meeting in the downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Good. Coming forward to plank and lower to your belly. Again, taking a few moments here to recover. Some of you don't need to want to take push-ups, go ahead. But I really believe that it's good to take moments of complete rest, even within an intensive practice, so that you really are constantly calm, steady. We're going to move into Shalabhasana, the locust pose. Lift the legs, lift the chest, gaze slightly forward, enough to keep the neck long. Breathe for a few breaths. Hold up, reaching the chest forward, the legs back. And then if you want to take a variation for this, you can clasp the hands behind the back, and that will help you maybe even lift a bit higher, maintaining steady breath. If you want to go really crazy, go to superhuman. Hands forward in front of you, straight arms, straight legs. Breathe. If it's too much on the lower back, skip, and then lower down. Rest. Move the hips from side to side to release a bit in the lower back. A breath or two. And we're going to go into the Bekasana. So we're going to start with Ardha Bekasana, the half frog, just to warm up. Bend one knee, stretch it a bit. Then bend the other, stretch it. Obviously, you can just stay in half frog each side a little longer instead of doing the full frog, which is a bit crazy and sometimes a bit challenging for the knees for some of us. So if you have the Bekasana, go ahead. Keep lifting the chest. Keep pressing the feet down with your hands while the feet press up against the hands. And then release again. Move a bit from side to side. And take a vinyasa. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Coming forward to plank again and slowly, slowly lowering down to your belly with control. Lay down, bend the knees, take hold of your ankles. We're going to head into Dhanyurasana, the bow pose. Lift up chest, lift up legs, try to keep the feet together, toes at least touching, maybe even ankles and heels. Keep lifting high up and make sure you're breathing. If you haven't smiled today, try to give yourself a moment here. Stretch your lips for a moment and see if you can really enjoy the practice, right? Finding the balance between working, pressing the legs back, lifting the chest, and yet calming, relaxing. Lower down, take another moment here. Just allow yourself to settle. Even if you want, bend the knees, move them from side to side just to release the back even further. And we're going to go for a cobra. So we're going to actually really keep the pelvis down, the pubic bone down towards the ground. Lift up and pull your chest through as far forward as you can while the shoulders are moving back. This may seem to some of you less, but you're actually moving the back bend a little bit away from the lower back to the middle upper back. And so really keep elongate. Now if you want, lift a little higher, head back, really preparing for the Ekapada Rajkapotasana. Good. After all this rest, let's do a few chaturangas. Do as many as feel reasonable for you. If it starts to hurt your wrists, you can do it on your fists as well. Just make sure you're doing it with correct form and meeting in downward dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Take a few breaths here again, just letting everything settle. We constantly balance between yin and yang. So here we go. We're going to bring the right foot forward, right shin forward, setting up for, we'll do a few preparations before we go into the full Ekapada Rajkapotasana. So adjusting the hips, lengthening, dropping down for pigeon for a moment, or if you need longer, just pause and stay there for a while. And then come up. I need a little more quad psoas stretch, so I'm bending the left knee and working on giving me a little bit of moment there. And then take whatever variation works for you. If it does work for you to go to the full Ekapada Rajkapotasana, good. Take hold of the back foot. I'm actually pressing the foot away to open the shoulder. You can see my shoulders pulling way, way, way back. And then after I've opened my shoulder, I add the second hand, the second arm. I hold the feet, open both shoulders, right? It's always good, especially I never feel ready, born ready for these things. Started yoga later in life. And then if there's availability, start to walk the hands down the foot towards the ankles. Work on bringing the foot, the head onto the foot to the head. And make sure you can still breathe here, right? If there's room, you keep walking. If not, just stay steady there. This can get intense for some of us, so the most important thing is to keep a steady mind and to maintain the breath alive, right? That's really why we're doing this whole thing. And because it's fun. Okay, here we go. Release. Woo-ha! That was good times, wasn't it? Such good times that you get a chaturanga, up dog, and down dog. It's always a vinyasa at the end of any good tunnel. Take a breath here in down dog, release a bit in the back, and then I know, super duper exciting. Here we go. Second side. Left foot forward. Adjust. Obviously, the more you bring that left shin forward, the more intense it's going to be. Maybe a moment down just to create length in the spine. And then we're going to go for quadalicious, bending the right knee, taking hold of the foot, just like we did in Bekasana. Differences, both of them work on the quads. I actually, in Bekasana, feel more of a back bend at some point. Here I still get more of quad psoas. And then after a couple of breaths there, working on maybe one arm at a time doing the stretch. If you're ready for both arms, take both arms. Right, I almost went right for both arms. Forgot the one arm. Hey, one side may be easier than the other. So when you do take both arms, keep lengthening the chest, keep pressing the leg further away from you at first to really open the shoulders. Should feel great, right? It goes a little more into the upper back and shoulders. And when you start to feel ready, kind of what we did in the cobra, the chest forward, the hips drop back, the shoulders go back, the head goes back. Walk the hands on the foot, wherever the head reaches. Remember, it doesn't have to be the same on both sides. Just do whatever is reasonable for you. And maintaining breath. Maintaining breath. If you can, release slow and with control into your vinyasa. So step it back. Exhale as you go down into the chaturanga. Inhale as you pull forward. And then exhale as you go into the downward facing dog. Again, if you need to move a tiny bit in down dog to release, that's perfectly fine. Take a moment there. Breathe and sit up as we're going to go into another Pincha Mayurasana, except this time we're going to head into the scorpion. Woohoo! So, there you go. Forearm balance coming up when you're ready. Use your bandhas. Find a tall stance first. Really, really lengthen, feel power, and then start bending. Start reaching the head forward through up. And take a moment in banana just to really even warm up the spine more. And then when you're ready, bend the knees. And if it feels good, you can even point the toes down. Keep reaching your head up and keep reaching the feet. I'm using a hint of bandhas to protect a bit in the lower back. And then when you've done, when you've had enough, come on down, either take vinyasa or just go straight into child's pose. If you'd like, I took my knees a little wider apart so I can actually elongate the spine more to release from all these backbends we've done. And to ground. Forehead is on the ground to really connect to earth so that we don't just get very pitta vata, just very aggressive, moving, fighting. Right? We started that way, which is great. We kind of burned some steam, but it's important to now start to learn how to balance it out. Okay, here we go. Coming out of child's pose, lowering down chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog, and exhale, downward facing dog. A breath here, and then step or jump through to your seat. And we're gonna twist to release a little bit from all these back bends. So heading over towards Marichyasana C. Right knee is bending, twisting over to the right, left arm over. Again, feel free, take any variation that you like. Hand up, hand down, or if you have the bind, by all means go ahead and take the bind. Keep the left leg strong and active. And you can see I took a few breaths before the bind. I really wanted to feel like I'm opening, 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 releasing the spine. Use your Ujjayi breath. Drishti, gaze is steady at one point. You're taking it back, but it doesn't really matter exactly where it is. And then release. And the good news is we're just going to switch sides. For those of you that still have a lot of energy to burn, go ahead, take a vinyasa in between, and then meet us. Join to the second side. Again, starting the twist. You can see here I didn't go right for the bind because I'm really releasing my back and shoulders. I'm pressing, pressing, pressing. And then only after a few breaths of this, which I find like sometimes I get a deeper twist, then I go for the bind. And then when I have the bind, or you have the bind, just make sure again you're using the bandhas to try and elongate the spine. Keep opening your left shoulder to the left side. Lift the head and take your gaze back. Maintaining breath. Maintaining calmness. Beautiful, everyone. Good, here we go. Let's prepare for a jump back. So cross the legs, lift up, and then float, step, jump back. Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing, and exhale, downward facing doggy. Step, jump through to your seat again. And we'll go for Triangamukha Ekapada Paschimottanasana. Don't worry, it's easier than the name says. We're just going to bend the right knee and place the foot back, folding over the straight left leg, reaching far forward, both sitting bones on the ground, and just surrender. Let everything calm down. Let your breath deepen. And you're welcome to stay there. If it works for you, similar, but from the second series of Ashtanga, Crown Chasana, lift the right leg, take the hands around the foot, and try to straighten the leg and lift the chest, eventually bring the chest and chin towards the leg. You can see I'm really working on lengthening the spine. Not so easy for me, but that's the practice, right? Lengthening the spine. Here we go. A little bit of craziness. I'm opening the hip even a little further, brought the foot to the nose. And then for some, it will work to take the leg behind the head. For some, just behind the shoulder. If it works, take it behind the head. Stay here. Breathe a few moments. Right? Keeping your bandhas alive to protect your lower back. And then I'm going to release the leg from behind. Open a little more in the chest and the shoulders. Good. We're going to release and head over to the arm balance. Ashtavakrasana. So wrapping the legs, shifting the weight forward, chest up, and just breathe here. We're gonna again try to go a little fancy here. So if it works, lift up for a moment in Ashtavakrasana and try to take the left leg back behind you. Woo! You're now in Ekapada Kundinyasa. If that still feels great for you, try to bring it forward and through again, back into Ashtavakrasana. Good. Elbows are bent. And then one more time, just if you've got the energy, right? And then jump back, Chaturanga. Good. Go through your vinyasa, up dog, releasing all this forward fold into downward facing dog. Guess what comes next? Yippity yip. Jump through. Let's do the other side. So we're going to go for the starting with Trianga Mukha Ekapada Paschimottanasana, bending the left this time, the left leg, and we're going to come forward over the right. Notice how I've worked on trying to get both sitting bones on the ground and then reaching forward. Right, really bandhas to elongate the spine. And then once you've got your pose, just breathe, right? Really take it as a surrender. It's forward fold. We're cooling down a tiny bit. And for those that want to continue to the crown chasana, right, we're going to head over, straightening the leg, chest and chin up towards the legs. So, yeah, crown chasana, first pose, second pose of second series. The pose we just did before is from the primary series, both from Ashtanga. Shoulders relax down, spine elongates, and the thigh was rotating internally. Good. Now I'm taking and just warming up the hip a tiny bit more before either again behind the shoulder or maybe to the forehead or maybe behind the head. Just remember, not every side is going to be the same, so do what feels reasonable for you. You may need to keep the hands on the ground, not in Namaste. Wherever you are, just try to stay calm. Release the leg from behind the head, and we're going to head over to our balancing fun transitions, starting with Ashtavakrasana. So crossing the legs, lift up the hips, shift the chest and head forward, hips back. Breathe here. Elbows are bending, staying present, and then the chest lifts in order to create space for the leg to go back. Right, the left leg is back, and then it comes forward and through, crossing again into Ashtavakrasana. We're going to do it again. Go back into Ekapada Kundinyasa. And jump back. Chaturanga Dandasana, upward facing dog, and meeting in the downward facing gorgeousness. Beautiful, everyone. Really nice, you guys. Happy you're practicing. Step jump through to your seat. Coming forward again, we'll do another forward fold. So we're heading over for simple Paschimottanasana. Both legs forward, fold over the legs, and really surrender. And notice I'm not pulling, I'm not stressing, just relaxing the shoulders, the head, the breath, the mind. And then I just elongated a bit, and that was by lifting a little more in the bandhas, right? By lifting in the belly. Okay. So here we go. Let's release, and we're gonna take a vinyasa. So lift up, jump back into chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog, urdhva mukha. Exhale, adho mukha svanasana, downward dog. Beautiful. Okay, guys, we're gonna go for last little bit of intensity. So headstand, and we're gonna even do some core work in headstand. So set yourself up, coming up to Shirshasana. Legs up. Take a few breaths here. And I like to steady my mind to feel the breath deepening, to really take it as a form of meditation. We have our crown chakra pressing into the earth. Great for rooting, connecting, stabilizing after all this pretty powerful practice. Making sure your gaze is steady. Beautiful. Here we go. We're going to start to bend the legs halfway down, or almost all the way touching the ground, and then all the way back up. So let's do a few of these. Feet go almost touching the ground and straight back up to Shirshasana. Go at your pace. I'm going here a bit faster than what some can do. Some can go even faster. No need to rush it, but just really working our core, our psoas. So just going up and down, and then coming all the way up, holding another moment here. And then, wow, we're going to try and go across. So go down and across to the other side. Beautiful. Good. You can do a couple more and then we'll meet in headstand again. And when you've had enough, just come on down. Rest for a moment in child's pose. So, taking a vinyasa from child's pose, inhale upward facing, exhale downward facing dog. And now to the most important pose of all of yoga. One way or another, make your way onto your back. Bend the knees, take hold of your feet. We're going to go for happy baby, which means you're just going to laugh out loud like a 2-year-old. So go ahead, take your feet, roll from side to side, and... Bring the knees to the chest, give yourself a hug, and we'll go for a twist. So just a supine twist. A couple of breaths to each side, right? Just to remember not to take ourselves too seriously. It's only yoga. And then poof, here we go. Time to die. Dropping into Shavasana and simply doing nothing. Moving into stillness. The legs drop, palms facing up, eyes lightly closed. Breath flows on its own. The more you surrender, just like warm chocolate melting away, the more you can allow a sense of spirit to float outside of your body, to really be free. Free from the attachment of body, free from the attachment of mind, recognizing that your existence is not limited to body and mind. If nothing else, just allow yourself to be. Take a deep breath in. Slowly roll onto your right side. Find the safety of feeling just like in an embryo. And then slowly come back up to sit. Take a moment and just breathe. Notice your body now. How does it feel? Notice your breath, your mind. And then thank yourself. Remember to be grateful for all that you can do rather than looking at what you can't. Remember to come from a place of joy and gratitude. Thank you. Namaste. Please do go ahead and leave a sweet comment. It makes everything worthwhile. Share this with somebody on your Facebook or with a friend. Hit like, and I hope to see you again soon. Thank you.